Hello, my name is Brooke Nieswander. You can call me Coach Nieswander, and welcome to Starstruck Parenting. This is episode 16. The topic today, my question for you is, are we harming our kids by helping too early? And that may seem a little bit out of place, but I'm gonna ask you to put aside your parenting view for a minute, okay? Because I don't know a single parent that wants their child to go through difficult times, that wants to fall down and get hurt, that wants to stumble and fall, right? I also know that as a parent, when I see my kids doing something that they're struggling with, and I know I can do it easily, part of me gets impatient and wants to step in and do it for them. Okay, but when they're working on trying to figure something out and they are struggling or they ask for help right away, instead of having them work through the problem, when we step in and help them, I contend that we're harming them. And why I say that is because it is only through trial, it is only through effort, it is only through falling down and getting back up that we as human beings build self-esteem. Okay, especially kids. If we're just affirming our children all the time and we're telling them, oh, you're such a good girl, you're such a good boy, you are so amazing at this and that, one of the things that we're doing is setting them up for failure when they go out into the real world, because the people in the real world aren't necessarily going to treat them like that. And when they've been built up with this false self-esteem and they run into somebody out there in the world that doesn't treat them that same way, they're going to crumble. But if we let them fall, if we let them fail and figure it out themselves, and I'm not saying don't help your kids, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying let them work at it longer. Because most kids are pretty smart, they're pretty ingenuitive, okay? They can figure stuff out. And when they figure it out for themselves, that builds real solid self-esteem. Okay, so pride, if I'm proud of my kids, that's an example of my love for them. Self-esteem is an example of our love for ourselves. So when our kids, they succeed in some way. Have you ever had your kid, maybe they won the race, maybe they were able to build something and they wanted to show you because they were really, really proud of it, they were excited, right? That is self-esteem being built. The more we can allow our kids to grow their self-esteem through their own actions, the stronger they're going to be, the more resilient they're going to be, the better they're going to adjust to society once they leave our sheltering wing. I understand. Trust me, I understand the desire to step in and do it for them. I understand the desire to mitigate pain for your kids, especially those pains of things like failure. But I've talked about this before, that we need to teach our kids that failure is okay, right? If our kids looked at failure the way a scientist looks at failure, they go, oh, that hypothesis must have been wrong, or that experiment didn't work, but now I have new information to try again on a new experiment, a better one. And eventually, by finding all the ways that don't work, I'm going to find the way that does. If we could encourage our kids to go through life like that, not only would they be more successful in the long run, way more successful, because most people fail in their ventures, their education, whatever it is, because they give up, because they hit some temporary defeat, and instead of pushing through and trying again, they just say, what's the use? And they walk away. And it's amazing if you read about successful people or people that had amazing ideas. there's a lot of people that quit just shy of their breakthrough, of their success. So if we can teach our kids always to get up one more time and try again, always to try to figure it out, and so that they figure it out themselves. And I'm not saying don't teach them to ask for help, because asking for help is a key. It's very important to cut that learning curve, right? If we can ask from somebody who's done something before and get their advice. Now, there's a difference between when they come to you and say, Dad, can I get your help with this? There's a difference between going in and doing it for them, or giving them a little more information so that they can come to the conclusion that works for themselves. It's like if you've ever been to the gym and you got a spotter and you're doing bench presses, and you get to that last one and your arms are shaking and you can't quite get it up, and like literally with their finger they can lift it up. With that much help, you can get in that last rep. That's the kind of help we need to give our kids. Just enough so that they can do it on their own. Or that little nudge across the finish line so that they have the success. We just played a little role. We just gave them a little bit of information that they didn't have. We just showed them a different way of looking at it. If we can approach parenting like that, if we can approach these situations that way, we are going to raise some extremely capable children. And they're going to become extremely capable adults. And they're going to change the world. And their kids are going to be raised by strong, capable adults who had the example of a parent who let them figure it out, who gave a little bit here, but didn't do it for them. And so they're going to raise strong, capable children who will in turn raise strong, capable adults. And the cycle will continue, the cycle will grow, and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren will be far more capable than us. Let's leave that as a legacy.